guys, Skilled Legend here, and today I want to talk about, Sophocles and the episode 26 title. For those of you that don't know, it actually is confirmed to be Goodbye Sophocles, or as most of you guys know it, Fat Clement. Um, there's been a lot of debates about this, on whether, he's leaving to, uh, go fulfill his dream or his role as the trial captain. There's also talk about whether it's because of his lack of popularity, and there's also talk about whether it's actually, one of those troll titles where, it's not really what it seems. And they're all very valid possibilities. The first possibility that I mentioned there is that he's going off to follow his dream. And we obviously know that that's possible. There's been times where, the companions of a series in Pokemon have left, and then they sporadically show up, or they return and they're part of the series again. And that's very much a possibility in this case. Also, another possibility is that Sophocles is leaving because of popularity reasons. I know that's kind of frustrating because it's only 20 episodes in, or like we're only 20, 25 episodes in. Uh, actually, I know that I think, 23 episodes in. Anyways, besides the point, we're very early on in the Sun and Moon series, and if they're already getting rid of him for popularity reasons, it's kind of disappointing. Um, like, for example, popularity is kind of a huge thing, though. It hasn't been really as prominent as before, but uh, the whole reason that Misty's not still the main Pokegirl is because they put her on the chopping block with Team Rocket. There's a whole article about that if you want me to link it. It's you can't. I don't think you can actually find the article anymore, but you can find clippets and bits of it in this Tumblr post that a guy made that was a Poke shipper, and he was very frustrated. But he has snippets of the actual conversation with the director, who at the time was talking about the reasons that Misty got cut. But basically, the gist of it is that Misty and Team Rocket were on the cutting board, and when I say Team Rocket, I mean Jesse, James, and Meowth, not the whole organization. But they were on the cutting board because they're the least popular thing in the series, and they decided that Misty, since her lack of popularity and her whole dream being unreasonable to continue forward with moving on with Ash, um, they cut her from the show. They made her leave, whereas Brock stayed, and that's why we've had a new female companion every single series. Um, even though they joked around and said that it's because they want to give new eye candy to the boy viewers, that's just a joke. The real reason is because they don't want the fans to become uncontent with a female companion, and make the series less popular because of it. So it's a real possibility that, though it's very disappointing that they're already deciding that this character just isn't making the cut. He's too much like, maybe like Clement, and people just don't like it. I mean, I wish I was joking, but like most of these episodes that he's in or that he's focused on, they're just too much where he's like Clement, and they're not very popular. Most of the episodes that of Sun and Moon have been doing fairly well in the ratings. The ratings have actually been going up each episode, but when an episode about him comes around, or about his development comes around, it drops, and it's not like a little drop. It's kind of actually significant drops. So it would be sad to see a character cut this early, but it's definitely a possibility. Um, and the last reason is obviously that it's a joke, and I don't know, a lot of people that I talk to, know about a lot of these things, but there was the Goodbye Pikachu episode, where basically in the first series, Ash was going to let Pikachu go. He was going to let Pikachu go live with the other Pikachu and um, let him go live peacefully. And the episode was literally called Goodbye Pikachu. But Pikachu didn't obviously end up leaving, otherwise, we probably wouldn't have made it this far with Pikachu. And also, another thing is that, we've had the dance episode where things are, not as they seem. There's just always been, and the Calls League episode where things are just not always as they seem. So that's definitely a possibility that they're just kind of, making us think that something is going to happen, like he's going to leave, or that maybe, they're kind of dropping the hint that he was thinking about leaving, but then he doesn't end up leaving. Those are very good possibilities, but it also brings up a good point. Um, I don't really like bringing up more Serena to Alola stuff because, I haven't given up on the idea because I know that she's probably going to show up in a cameo or a special, but it does bring up a good point that, some people have been saying is like, if he's leaving for popularity reasons, does that mean that Serena could show up very soon? Because of her obvious popularity, like not soon as in like they're going to like force her into the series and make her character develop more, or try to develop her character more, or try to develop emotion more, because that would just be silly. But when I say that her return might be sooner than we think is, if it is popularity reasons that he's leaving or going to show up on the show a little bit less, does that mean that we could see Serena's cameos show up a lot sooner because they're actually kind of listening to what us fans really want? Because, like, people can say whatever they want about Serena, but you can't deny her popularity. I mean, the whole Pokenchi thing just showed, and the fact that they uh, made a character, or they made the figurines. If you guys don't know the story about behind the figurines, there was actually a poll done in Japan on what Pokemon character people would want, and there were, answers that the Bandai company gave people that they could choose from. And the reason we got a Serena Music Box figurine was because it was the most picked thing in Japan. People picked the Serena Music Box figurine as the choice of what they would want for merchandise from the Pokemon Company. And so, like, there was that, and then the whole Pokenji thing with Serena that just went crazy off the wall. And, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. This does not mean that she's going to return as a companion. This does not mean that she's going to get special treatment among the characters, but it's interesting to note that, if the popularity thing is coming into play with Sophocles being the least popular character, and that he's leaving the show already, or they're listening to the fans that are just disappointed that he's kind of a repeat of Clement, that, it might accelerate the timetable that they might bring Serena back for her cameos or her specials. And again, I don't think that she'll ever become a traveling companion of Ash's again unless it's in the very far distant future. Um, but we'll just see what happens. I was curious as to what you guys think. Do you think that he's actually leaving? Do you think that he's leaving for the purposes of the storyline to, go to the other island and start his training to become a captain or get his Z-Ring? Do you think that it could just be a hoax of the Pokemon Company, like, goodbye Sophocles, but he actually doesn't leave? Kind of like the whole Chaos League trickery with their title, or the dance episode with their title, or even the Goodbye Pikachu, if you remember that episode way back in the original series. But anyways, I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.